Our Sports Pad for Annalise Russell. I'm Stephen Whiting coming to you from Forbes.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Stephen Whiting with your OU Nightly Sports, and I'm not in Norman today. No, I am live in Lawrence, Kansas, as the number 25 Sooners look to take on the number 24 Kansas Jayhawks at Memorial Stadium here in Lawrence, Kansas, behind me tomorrow at 2:30.
Now, we'll be looking to bounce back from a loss against then number 21 Georgia. Now, the women's gymnastics team wasn't the only number 2 taking down a number 1 this weekend. The number 1 men's gymnastics team took on number 2 Stanford. The Cardinal were slightly better than Bradford's going to be up in Tahlequah tonight as he's going to be honored by the Cherokee Nation. The events will take place on the Tahlequah Sequoia High School campus, and it'll begin at 6 p.m. It was also announced today that Bradford will be honored at Putnam City North High School, where he graduated in Oklahoma City on April 24th. On the other side of the ball, another Sooners being honored. Defensive tackle Gerald McCoy has been named to the 2009 Lott Trophy Watch list, which highlights 42 of the top defensive players who had the biggest. Now, as many Sooner fans probably know by now, this weekend was not a very favorable one for the then number 20 football squad. The OU offense failed to put up a touchdown for the first time since a 1998 29-0 loss at Texas A&M, and for the first time in the Stoops era. Now, after the game, there was definitely some frustration from the coaching staff. A month ago, the Sooners were 4th in the conference and found themselves at a crossroads. On April 1st, the OU softball team hosted Baylor for a doubleheader, and after being shut out in the opener to tally their 3rd straight loss, they decided they weren't going to take it anymore.
That was kind of like a breaking point where we reached, and we knew that if we continued to stay there, it would just go down and down, and we just decided, we didn't have anything to lose, so we just said go after it, go hard, work hard every time, every game, just take one game at a time.
We're a team that really likes momentum, and so we decided that we're going to create our own momentum.
That momentum would help them turn a 4-game deficit into 1 before last weekend's series against Missouri.
We got over the hill and went into Missouri knowing we were going to win.
The Sooners not only won the series but won the conference, and now Coach Gasso thinks she'll just ride the wave.
As we get into the stretch, I'm just kind of letting them do their thing, and they're doing it, so you just leave them alone until they need you.
You would like to congratulate the team on their victory last night. You will have that opportunity at 6 p.m. tonight. Sooners will be honoring seniors Jenny Douglas, DJ Mathis, and Samantha Ricketts.
I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning because I wanted to see the Sooners. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. 5, 5:30, 5:45. We got here around 8, 6:30.
We drove here at 6, so we've been in line a while.
I'm gonna see DeMarco Murray, Sam Bradford.
We're gonna try to get Sam
Bradford,
of course.
DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray. He ran 92 yards for a touchdown against Utah State. We're in the squad.
I wanted Jermaine Gresham, and my girlfriend wanted Gerald McCoy. She got a crush on McCoy, so I had to get that one first, and I went over to Jermaine. Got Jermaine.
I love interacting with the kids, mingling, singing Christmas carols to them. Rudolph the red-nosed had a very shiny, and if you ever... Oh!
Almost got killed in my football career. We're just out here enjoying the fans. They come to support us. So this is the least we can do is come out here and sign autographs. If you can see, we done had a good turnout. So thankful for the fans.
Media Day's been a lot of fun. You see us out here, we sweating, but we having a good time. For the fans, loving them. We don't mind sitting here for a few hours to show the fans some love.
Well, it's a thrill. It's just a thrill for the kids to get to see them and meet them and get their pictures taken with them. It's a big thrill.
It's amazing. They show up 5:30 and 14,000 strong.
Yeah, it's neat. And again,
Here with Stephen Whiting, I'm Alex Page, squandering a 12-point halftime lead, losing only their 5th game of the season. As Naisha Stevenson's three-pointer bounces out at the rim. Stephen, this is a tale of 2 halves.
That's right, Alex, and I really thought the game pivoted on the Angel McCoughtry-Whitney Hand matchup. As many of you saw, OU jumped out to a huge lead in the first half, led by 12 at the half, as you just said, and most of that was because of Whitney Hand's defense on Angel McCoughtry. McCoughtry 0 for 8 in the first half, didn't score from the field, got all 4 of her points on the first on free throws. Second half, though, we didn't see Whitney Hand at all, only scoring on those free throws. She had three pointers in the first half. Angel McCoughtry played well, jump-starting things. Coach Cole addressed the matchup in the post-game press conference.
Thought she really made some things happen defensively, not just containing Angel, but made some plays happen, deflection, steals, that sort of thing, and then obviously knocked down the open threes. But in the second half, Angel McCoughtry is going to be rabid. She's going to do that and going to go after everything off the rim, and she did, and we had a hard time containing her when she did that.
And McCoughtry really did come alive there in that second half, hitting her first field goal of the game and forcing some turnovers. She really helped kickstart the team, both offensively and defensively.
They came out with, intense on defense and had a little bit of a different defensive scheme. And we got some great passes from D-Rob and the other girls, and some of them just didn't drop, and I missed a couple of chippies.
And like Ashley Parrish says there, they did miss a few chippies, and I thought that was part of the game. There were a bunch of missed opportunities for the Sooners, both inside and at the free throw line. But in the end, they had that chance there at the end, and as Courtney Parrish says, man, it looked like it was going in.
Yeah. I thought it was a great shot. It rim to rim and came out. I thought it was really, really courageous of her to be willing to take that big shot, and it just didn't go in.
So the Sooners do end up losing 61-59 to the Louisville Cardinals.
And it does bring a bittersweet ending to the careers of both Courtney and Ashley Parrish, who come up one step short of that national championship game.
That's right. Reporting from the Scottrade Center in St. Louis, for Stephen Whiting, I'm Alex Page, our Sports Pad.
Football 1971, the game for number 1. Unbeaten and untied Nebraska versus unbeaten and untied Oklahoma.
A cold Thanksgiving day in 1971 would provide the setting for what would later be dubbed the game of the century. The most iconic play of that game was Johnny Rogers' 72-yard punt return to put the Huskers up 7-0. Jack Mildrum would lead the Sooners back to take a 31-28 lead late in the fourth quarter. But it wouldn't be enough as Nebraska crashed over the goal line for a gut-wrenching 35-31 win. Bob Stoops talks about what the game means today.
But you can't miss the speed of Johnny Rogers or the speed of Greg Pruitt, and you notice everything. The kids chuckle at the shoes they're wearing and, all of that. So.
In 1987, Nebraska was again ranked number 1 and OU 2 in a game hyped as Game of the Century 2. But it would be a lopsided affair, highlighted by Thunder Collins propelling OU to a convincing 17-7 victory.
On the line with the pitch to Collins. Green leading the way, and Collins looking for daylight. He'll go! A 65-yard bolt of lightning in the late afternoon in Lincoln, Nebraska. Oklahoma.
It would again be more than another decade, though, before the powerhouse rivalry would reach unparalleled prominence. This one, though, shrouded in mystery, with a new cast of characters.
The wild card, here's Oklahoma. They weren't supposed to be this good. No question the big surprise of the season is Oklahoma. Everybody asks, are they for real? Well, they've played a tougher schedule than Nebraska, beating Texas and Kansas State on the road. The big key question today is, can Josh Heupel and the high-scoring offense handle the pressure of that Nebraska defense? And can the Cornhuskers handle the hype? We'll find out in Norman in a minute.
Probably my fondest memory is just that game and the way our atmosphere was. I mean, I don't think to this day I've ever seen as many people outside of the stadium. The big screen set up in front of the dorm, people watching it there. The streets were flooded, even if people couldn't get in. And probably the biggest satisfaction for me was the way it happened. Coming in, everyone wondering, are we for real? Being down 14-0 right off the bat. They had 2 huge drives, and it looked like we weren't. And then we settled in and couldn't have played better after that, and really every part of the game. So that's one of my favorite ones for sure, for all those reasons, and the excitement afterwards.
Since you've seen this in Norman, Oklahoma, and as you said last night, welcome back, Oklahoma.
OU would indeed be back, going on to win the 2000 National Championship. Set the ball rolling for 5 conference championships this decade. Now, 4th of which came against Nebraska, and it was 2006 Big 12 Conference Championship, which was the last time these two teams met. It was a gritty 21-7 affair, played on the frozen tundra of Arrowhead Stadium on a nasty weather weekend. Now, this year's chapter is going to begin in about a little more than an hour on this field right behind me. Reporting for Our Sports Pad, Stephen Whiting.